Moving abroad is exciting and it's also very scary all at the same time, especially if you have anxiety. Anxiety can be debilitating. Like, no matter how hard you try to fight through it, sometimes you just can't get out of your head. Thinking of change can just throw you into a panic attack. Moving to a new country you don't know is possibly one of the biggest, if not the biggest changes you can make, but it is possible. Hi there, I'm Maple. I have high anxiety, and I moved to a new country that I had never been into. I had never set foot into it, and I jumped. Here are my experiences so far, 7 months into moving abroad. I am extremely bad at overthinking. I overthink everything, everything that I think about, things that I say, things that I do, uh, the purpose of everything, the purpose of my actions, the purpose of anything and everything, the future, the uncertainty of it, the just everything, productivity. Am I doing enough? And of course, everybody has anxiety over money. Like, it's so bad whenever you get to overthinking and it's just, you get stuck and it's like an endless loop. Overthinking leads to anxiety or can lead to anxiety. In my case, definitely leads to anxiety. I start thinking about all of the what ifs and never, as much as I try to, it's always the negative what ifs. The worst case scenario what ifs are the ones that constantly pop to my head. Those what ifs can destroy your mental health. As Mouse says, what ifs is just daydreaming about the bad. And he's right. Instead of thinking about all of the good possibilities that are come, the fresh starts that you're going to have, all of the dreams that you had to lead you to get to this big change. Instead of daydreaming about that, you're daydreaming about the what ifs. When we first got to Belize, I didn't feel much anxiety. I felt good. I was just seeing all of the possibilities, our dream of creating our safe community in our homestead. And it was wonderful. Like, no anxiety. And it was amazing. Felt great. But someone with anxiety, that doesn't always last so much. Hearing about how things were going in the US started to really get to me. And yes, that we we anticipated this, and that is why we decided to make the move to Belize because we saw the writing on the wall. We wanted to create a safe place for others. I started having minor panic attacks. That's whenever the what ifs started coming into play. Like, what if we run out of money? What if we're not able to complete our dream? What if something happens to someone back home? And I would cry anytime I would think about anything, anyone back home. About 5 months into our move, my anxiety just went straight into overdrive. I felt like I wasn't doing enough. And this led to not being able to do anything. the feeling of I should be doing more led me to feeling physically sick to where I just couldn't give myself that push to do anything. I couldn't even really leave the apartment. I couldn't even crochet. I couldn't watch the YouTube videos that I would normally watch because like anything would just like feel like a weight sitting on my chest and I couldn't handle it. So I was trying to find ways to handle it. Everything was triggering me. Most of the times, my thoughts were going through my head so fast, I couldn't even remember what thought just left. It, it just, I couldn't trace them. I couldn't track them. I had no idea what it was that I was thinking. It's just that they were just going way, way too fast. And that ultimately just increased my anxiety because what was I just thinking that put all of this on me and it would not go away. So what did I do? For a month, all I did was I listened to guided meditation, low frequency sounds, videos that would help me work through my thoughts. I read books that would try to help work through my thoughts and help me realize why I was feeling the way I was feeling. But I still couldn't get the what ifs to leave. So what changed or helped? First, I'm going to say I still have anxiety. I probably always will have anxiety. Like, there is not going to go anywhere. Uh, the what ifs still enter my brain. They're just not as bad as they were. After around a month of Mouse trying so hard to get me out of the funk I was stuck in, he found a way to get through. Even though he was saying the same thing every single day, something just clicked. And we went through our plans for our land, our dream of what we want for our land, what we want to do for our land, and what we want it to become, what we will do to generate an income, what resources we have, and what resources we will have. We even discussed a few backup plans. I am a planner, and having backup plans definitely helps me. If we don't want to think about the worst case scenarios because that leads to anxiety. But if you lay out what your fears are, what the worst case scenario would be for you in the situation you're in, and then you come up with a backup plan. If you have a partner, it is always good to work through the backup plans, discuss everything with them, how you're feeling and what you're afraid of, and then you two work together to create a backup plan. Now, I'm not saying that this took away all of my anxieties. Like I said, I still have anxieties. What ifs still go through my brain, but it's not as bad as it was. I'm just working on ways to help manage my anxiety, to help me find out the reasons behind my anxiety. The big thing is to remember the reasons why we came here. We had such a clear goal when we decided to come here. I can't dwell on the what ifs. They are not here right now. They probably will never come. Think about the what ifs of this is going to work. This is our plan. This is what we're here for. We are here to make a difference. So can't dwell on the what ifs. There shouldn't be any reason to worry right now. Again, having a backup plan for those just in case scenarios of those what ifs does help my anxieties. The point is, just because you have anxiety over change or over anything doesn't mean you cannot follow your dreams. You, so many people let their fear of the unknown, let their anxieties, their what ifs, they let them control their lives to where they're too scared to jump out of their comfort zone, even though they desperately have always dreamed of it. Can't let your anxiety rule over you. And I know that that is so much easier said than done. Like I said, still suffering through anxiety, but you can't let the negative what ifs like control your decisions. The future is uncertain. Everything is uncertain. You don't know what's going to happen today. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. No matter how much you plan it, it's still unknown. So do something that you've always wanted to do. Do something that you have dreamed of doing. At least try. Try to just live. If I can do it, a regular woman who has anxiety that sometimes is so bad that it literally makes me physically sick. Anyone can. Don't let the what ifs control your life. There will always be what ifs, but you only get one life. Live the life that you want to. Be safe. Be kind to yourself and others. We love you. See you next time.